Hi, I'm Mark Szulc, Technical Director of Adobe Australia New Zealand, and today I'd like to take a couple of moments of your time to show and share with you a new tool called Adobe Flash Catalyst. Flash Catalyst allows me to take existing artwork that's consisted of rectangles and text objects and start to make them into interactive components that I can later on pass on to a developer. So first of all, I'm going to select these two objects and convert them to a text input field. I'm then going to come down to the bottom here, and for the use of the layers objects here on the side, I can select two objects and say, let's convert them into a button. And then finally, I might want to choose a more complex object like a vertical scroll bar here, consisting of four objects. Go ahead and say to Catalyst, this is a vertical scroll bar. When I select this, Catalyst says to me, you've got some component issues. We need to go and define which part's which. So now I'm saying, this up arrow is an up arrow, so Catalyst knows that that rectangle is actually an up arrow. This one's a down arrow. The rectangle at the back is the track, so this is where the thumb will actually move across. And then finally we can grab this object and say, this is a thumb. So now we have the four parts of a vertical scroll bar. So that's great. And the last item that I want to work with here is we've got a repeating item that's not repeating yet. So I want to grab that, grab the vertical scroll bar, and together let's make this a data list. So the data list will be a repeating element, and so we need to go and edit the parts and say that this item here is something that repeats. And so now I've actually created a repeating area, I've bound it to the vertical scroll bar, and so all I need to do here is actually click on it, and then you can see on the right hand side in my palette list I've got some design time data where I can go ahead and change it. So I can put in my name, I can put in some other people's names. Let's click on someone like Andrew, we might put in here, click on some extra rows, and we've now got some design time data to work with. So that's great, but now what I want to do is actually have a left hand side panel view and a more extensive palette view. So let's actually duplicate this state. So now I've got two states. You'll notice the timeline object pops up. I'll actually minimize that and we'll come back to that in a moment. What I would like to do is now decide that the first panel, so page 1, is actually missing the items on the right. So let's actually start to go ahead and turn them off. Let's grab this object on the top right and the sign in items and just move them straight across to the left. Let's actually grab this rectangle behind the scenes here and actually move this across. And you can see that now we've got two different states. We've got the page 1 and page 2. So what's nice about Catalyst is it's actually worked out the difference between the two for me. And so now when I select this and I say add smooth transitions, it's going to work out the difference. So some objects have moved and it's put a move transition for me. Some objects have resized and some objects are brand new, so they're going to fade in. So now I'm just assigning them on the timeline. So when I click play and preview this, you can see that we've got that transition in fact sitting there. So now all I need to do is go ahead and link our button and say, well, when I click on this button, we will actually bring down, and so let's play a transition to state. I can choose the state, which is page 2. So we'll go from page 1 to page 2 when I click on that button. And so now when I preview this, it will actually render this into the Flash player. It will open up in my browser, and in a matter of moments we've gone from Illustrator artwork into Catalyst, define some behaviors, and now here's my application where I can actually type in the text field up the top. I can find my friends, it actually slides out, we can see my design time data, and I can actually scroll up and down. So that's showing you the power of Flash Catalyst in just a few moments by using this brand new tool from Adobe. And of course I can take this artwork and then move this straight into Flex Builder and continue my development projects. So hopefully that's been valuable to you and you'll enjoy using Flash Catalyst.